Ready? All right, welcome to the RT podcast. We talk movie news. We talk basically anything we want.
Pretty much, motherfuckers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing today, Trent?
I'm doing pretty decent. How are you, Ralph? I'm excited. You gave me some trailer watching homework, and it didn't feel like homework because it was fucking awesome. So.
And usually you're not really into doing that.
And usually I'm not into.
It does ruin it.
Yeah, exactly. Usually it spoils, but they didn't spoil plot bad. They got me excited. Like, I mean, they got shows down to science because, I mean, last fucking podcast that didn't get uploaded. Yeah, one in the comments, all 33 viewers. But we fucking just masturbated over, like, the John Wick trailer and another trailer. And, like, these PR cunts are just... No, we can't do it again. It's fake, too. But, like, these PR cunts have gotten it down to a fucking science. Like, they've boiled down just, 2-second images with like emotional music and nostalgia, and they just boil down the science of like depthless emotion. Like it's like crack. It's fucking crack. It's visual crack where they just go, "Don't you want some more?" And it's never as good as, and it's very rarely as good as your first high. That's the danger with it.
Yeah, we'll talk about those because last week the trailers were so
they
good.
were so fucking good.
They usually spoil a lot, but it just kind of teases you and gave you what you want. But yeah, we'll talk about those later.
All right, talk about this week.
But first...
So are we going to talk about this week now? You go, sir.
Yeah, we'll do the trailers later. But first we got Uncharted movie adaptation by Sony. And they got director Sean Levy to direct it. I'm not sure what he's done. But what do you think about it?
Look that up. Well, I'm glad the fact that it has a director attached gives it a shot. Is the writers decided? Is like the writer... Is it going to be I know his first name's Neil, the guy who basically took over Naughty Dog. But
I think I know. Yeah, I think I know that guy. I know Sean Levy is writing it. I think he's going to get someone else to co-write it with him, but he's done a lot of comedy stuff in his he did Cheaper by a Dozen.
Is he the American Pie guy? I want to say American Pie.
Yeah, I know he worked on that a little bit.
Shit, it's on IMDb. It says screenplay Joe Carnahan, and Joe Carnahan is one of my guilty fucking pleasures, man. That dude, he makes movies that critics like shit on, but that actual audiences enjoy. So case in point, The A-Team, which is a movie I fucking love, even though there's a couple cheesy things, but it has some great character beats, like no joke.
It really
and
does.
The Gray. Which, like, I remember just Jeremy... I had seen it already, and I was explaining Jeremy Jones' shit on it, and I was glad that he was like, no, he parted with the critics. Like, this was a January movie that was the shit. Like, that guy knows how to, like... He makes movies that he believes in, and, like, they're not, like, commercially manipulative. Like, they have depth to me. Like, okay, so he did Real Steel. I see. Huh. What a weird fucking, like... diverse group of critics. Sorry. Oh, 2 episodes of Stranger Things. Not that he did.
Stranger Things. It says he worked on a little bit for the Spectacular Now. I didn't know that.
What?
That's what it
What?
says. That's cool. I mean, that's the highest praise I can give.
That. Yeah, so. No. Okay, no, because in the end, I think that's much more James Ponsdolt, because that guy did End of the Tour as well, and like it was filmed in his hometown. But maybe he's one of those guys who like. I always wonder about this, if like studios have like, kind of those directors that are just their bitch, who like do whatever, just take all the notes and do what they say. And so like he's one of those guys who it's like, all right, we don't want this project to die, so we'll pay you, $200,000 to have your name attached to it for a while as a placeholder until we get another to create this artificial competition for the project.
Oh, you think so?
Exactly. We're like, maybe he was placeholder for Spectacular Now until James Ponsdolt was like, I want to do that.
I don't know.
I'm being a cynic.
Maybe he had some ideas for it, and then since he had some say in the story, maybe he got a.
That's true. That's true. He could have he could have made the script develop like a different way.
He could have touched it up a little bit,
No, because directors get to ask for that. That's true. No, man.
Yeah, he's done a lot of comedy stuff.
Yeah.
Both Cheaper by the Dozen movies, Night in the Museum 3. So obviously. That doesn't really play into Uncharted a lot.
He did all the Night at the Museums, actually. And then
he did, okay.
Pink Panther.
And he worked on Real Steel, too.
Just a weird fucking, list of movies, man. But yeah, apparently, seems like it's actually pretty legit with Uncharted, because it's put in pre-production, which actually doesn't mean...
Yeah.
So whatever, they're in planning, but... Oh, he completed a movie. Oh, wait. I think the internship and, in the last night at the museum has kind of knocked him down a notch where, he had to direct 2 episodes of a TV show. And he's lucky he picked Stranger Things or got picked. But, it seems like the one completed thing he has is Imaginary Mary, which is a TV movie. And sorry if it's based on a book and it's like your favorite book from childhood or something. Fuck off. But looks stupid.
I'm looking at it
right?
now.
It looks fucking retarded. A workaholic adult woman's imaginary friend from childhood comes back to her, but ends up being more of a trouble. What the fuck is this? Jenna, oh god, totally. This looks like a.
But I think at the end of the day, for Uncharted, I think a big key is
humor.
Who you cast as Nathan Drake.
Very key. Very key.
Because if you can have a great director, but I feel like the why the games work is because the lead is Nathan Drake is so charming.
Yeah, I'm curious.
He's such a great character.
I'm curious. Do you think it's at all within the realm of financial possibility that a studio would let Nolan North play Nathan Drake? There's just no fucking way, right? He's probably too old with how they'd want to do sequels and stuff. But I wonder if they go every single person who played those video games would show up if they actually casted somebody who was the voice. A video game character, right? That would be.
So was that guy the voice of it?
Yeah, Nolan North. He was the voice of that. He's in pretty much every knocked-out game. He played. Did you finish The Last of Us?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
Did you do the part where during winter with the snow?
Yes.
Okay. So the guy who picks up Ellie, you know what I'm talking about? That was Nolan.
Yes,
Nolan North did the voice of that guy, as well as he's just great at accents. In the Batman Arkham games, he does the Penguin, and he's done others. He did Two-Face, and one of the Batman Arkham games did Penguin, and another. He has amazing vocal range. Of course, mostly a video game guy, but I don't know. He probably doesn't even want to be after he's old and stuff. But I just wonder if what if they had Mark Hamill play the Joker in Batman when he's old. If they did actually Dark Knight Strikes Back with old Joker, Mark Hamill as the old Joker, I think would be the shit.
Well, I can see Mark Hamill playing the Joker and Kevin Conroy doing Batman.
Kevin Conroy's too scrawny. He's too he's 65 years old. He looks like he's been through 3 bouts of chemo.
Batman.
No, Batman has to be bold. No,
so?
I weigh more than Kevin Conroy. That's the thing. He would have to play Batman's skeleton or something. You would have to put him. It's just he looks like he's beaten. He looks like Lance Armstrong's nutsack. That was a great joke, but yeah, that's the thing with him. Also he's a little Alzheimer's-y, how he always lets slip that there's a new game. But in face, if it was just if you could do a movie of just basically if it was Iron Man. If Iron Man was Batman, Kevin Conroy could do it because it's just the fucking inside the suit. But as Batman, he's the greatest voice of Batman ever. But I don't think. But Mark Hamill as old Joker, I'd be down for it.
So do you think this guy Nolan
North?
So do you think he has the look for Nathan Drake?
A little bit. He does have a little bit of Italian mobster face, I'd say. Not in a fat way, but just in a I smoke cigars way, and that's why he's able to do the Penguin and Two-Face. In the end, I don't really float it seriously. I'm more the idea of could almost I think we've had a discussion about how the fuck did Wes Anderson get his job? If you see the short film Bottle Rocket that Wes Anderson got discovered on, it's fucking dog shit. I really can't bullshit you. I don't know how the producer saw the talent in him. He's one of the greatest directors of our generation, no question. But if I had seen that short film at a film festival, I would have laughed. I would have been one of the non-believers who said, these guys fucking suck. And we would have missed out on 12 great movies. But it's do you think there's a producer, who has the balls enough to put, that's the thing, Bottle Rocket probably cost $2 million, and those kind of movies don't get made anymore. But yeah, with the $100 million video game, never mind. It's a stupid idea, but maybe one day it could happen. Who knows? But yeah. We talked about one podcast about who it could be. Who else do you think would be? We debated Nathan Fillion a bit, but he's just too fat.
Okay, so I think, obviously, I think the studio, they want to cast a Chris Pratt or a Bradley Cooper, but I feel they should go for an unknown. And I'm not going to pretend I have a list of unknown actors I feel is perfect because no one does.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel you get more attached to the character if you saw him for the first time and you'd be like, oh, that's Nathan Drake.
Exactly.
And then you could make a franchise out
like
of
fucking
it.
Harry Potter. I feel you, where
Exactly.
it's the fucking that's who you are, and like they're so young that they don't care. You know what I was happy about? My dad just watched like kind of that double-edged swordness. You know, like Robert Pattinson, he's kind of trying to be like teenage version of Ryan Gosling. Not to be a dick, sorry Robert Pattinson, it's just a joke. But like, you know, he tries to pick scripts he actually believes in. Like I think he actually is a guy who like, yeah, you can say, oh, he likes playing emo characters, but like I think he actually picks scripts he believes in, like Ryan Gosling does. Doesn't have as good taste, but he's done good ones like Water for Elephants. If you've seen that, that's a great fucking movie with that was Christoph Waltz playing something other than Christoph Waltz, one of the rare fucking times. But but you know, he was known as Twilight Guy, so you accept the fame. You know, Daniel Radcliffe will always be seen as Harry Potter. Like he's still trying. Like I'm very excited to see that. Was it Salvation Army Man or something like that? Swiss Army. Thank you. Swiss Army. Like that looks so fucking awesome. But that's a great way. He's been trying to get rid of it, but it sticks with you. But the 50 Shades of Grey guy, I think Jamie Dornan. He was just in like this Netflix produced movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a war movie. And my dad watched it, said it was the shit. And he's like, and that's the 50 Shades of Grey guy. So I'm like, good for fucking him. Because I remember when the Sons of Anarchy guy dropped out, and it was like questionable if the movie was even going to get made. They get the nobody. Yeah. It was Charlie something. I can't remember his last name, the 50 Shades of Grey guy. But like, or the Sons of Anarchy guy. But when they got the new guy, like I was like, everybody's hating on Amelia. I'm like, stupid movie. But like, I understand that as an actor, you got to take the fucking chance you get. And he was able to parlay it into, apparently, by all accounts, a great movie on Netflix. Yeah. So good
Netflix is killing
Netflix
it.
is fucking killing it. Exactly. It's just like
because they let their filmmakers make films. They
respect
art. Intervene. They just here's how much of money, and then just make the film.
Also, what I respect is like the fact that they're not just sitting on their laurels like their ass. Like they're not just making sequels for things. Like yeah, they're producing sequels, but like they make new show stills. They make new movies. Like they make a lot of fucking movies. Like yeah, for every shitty Adam Sandler movie they fund, they also fund like movies that critics like blow the shit out of. Like I mean, there's gonna be a day where a Netflix produced film wins Best Picture. Like that's crazy to think, right? Like
it is, right?
that would be pretty fucking nuts.
How much it still can evolve.
Exactly.
You know? There's even movies and TV, like the Stranger Things, the Marvel shows, or Narcos or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like it's really impressive. Like 5 years ago, you would never think that it would come this far because the idea of Netflix content was like so out there.
Totally no, like
people weren't used to it.
Arrested Development season 4 with a green screen like just seems so gimmicky, and then all of a sudden House of Cards season 1 put them on the fucking map. But I do think that there's probably an industry bias against it because I don't know. I think Beasts of No Nation may be the only Netflix produced thing of any type to even get an Oscar nomination, but I don't think they won anything for actor or been nominated for actors. I remember there's a whole no black people, so Idris Elba didn't for that. Like I think there's probably like honestly, because I mean Netflix is scary to the movie industry. It like it's scary where it's cut out a large chunk of business. Why go to the movies when you can sit here and see 50 great movies, and where you if you sat on your ass your whole life you could never watch every great thing on Netflix. That's the hard thing. Mm-hmm. But so I mean I do think there's probably an incentive to just in a self-survival paranoia way for the Academy not to. But one day Netflix won't be a subjugated minority, but really like they are the new guys on the block who are busted. Like they're huge. They're worth like they're the new guys on the block worth like $2 billion. So don't let that fucking analogy. But yeah.
Well, did Beast of No Nation, did it get any nominations?
It might have gotten none. You're totally right there. Let me see.
Because I know that people were upset because the Academy wasn't hot on the idea of it. Because the Academy they're like all the voters are like
old white guys,
80-year-old white men who they don't like change. Yeah. They just want to like. They want to crap on anything that's not that's not a freaking Clint Eastwood biopic. I know,
and I bet they're probably upset where it's like, we gave the slave film an Oscar last year. Like honestly, I didn't think 12 Years a Slave was that great. It had some great scenes with true like passion and emotion, they were done well, but as a whole, as like the collection of its
overall,
parts,
it wasn't that,
yeah,
you know?
right. Like I felt like even with the schmoes, like when they reviewed it, like that, like it's an experience. It's so brutal. Like to me, I felt like it was this kind of like very white guilt, like not really truly judging the film as what it is kind of thing. It's like well, everybody else is saying it's the greatest film, so I'm going to seem like a racist asshole if I don't say it's the greatest film ever. But you're right. It got no Oscar nominations, only got nominated for a Golden Globe.
That
I think it might have won, like, SAGs, because I think I see a picture with Idris Elba at the SAG. But, like, but yeah, Jesus. That's...
What's the SAG?
Screen Actors Guild. So,
right.
Yeah. I also have a list because I'm chewing on gum, so sorry. Podcast cunts, why don't you pay for your fucking content? But yeah.
Support me.
Exactly.
So I can
support
buy,
my
so I can buy payways.
Yeah, exactly. Ralph, support me so I can buy some fucking cough syrup and don't send the fucking Macklemore Other Side song along with it. I'm already feeling like a fucking junkie. They make this shit too tasty now. The cough drops, my last 3 cough drops in my bag, I fucking chewed it like candy. I just went fucking, there's 3 left and the fucking little kid in me took over. I just couldn't help it.
Well, how you feeling now?
I'm feeling a lot better. Like, if I finally stop being a vaping cunt, maybe I'll actually heal up one day. Like, I haven't drank for a while, but yeah, I basically just take a shit. Like, now I have Tylenol, Benadryl. I just shove a bunch of shit down my throat, like every night. But medicine shit. And
it's funny because Dia's been sick for a couple weeks as well.
No, my other buddy
he's
caught
been,
the
plague. He missed like 5 days of school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not that that's a big deal for him because he can just like hack into the fucking Ferris Bueller style, hack into the like mainframe and change the grades. But good for him. But any other thoughts on the Uncharted thing? I'm trying to think. Like,
I want a unknown actor for Nathan Drake, and I just want to take time in the story. If it needs 6 more months, then fine.
Totally. Do you think it should be a completely original story and it's really just the character's likeness, or because I mean, bottom line, the first Uncharted didn't have that great a plot. Like, if they were gonna rip off any of the game's plots, it should be the second one, but which everyone thinks is the best game as well in general. But like, but yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like it should be more like a Bourne thing, where it has the likeness, like, because bottom line, it's just a rip-off of Indiana Jones, and it became its own thing by the second one, but first one, it was pretty much straight up Indiana Jones with more, like, Catholic shit rather than Nazi shit, but yeah.
I mean, the game, the stories in the games aren't really that developed, like, so, I mean, you can, I think you should just kind of make something new out of it, because, I mean, you can the reason why the games work is because Nathan Drake is so likable. So I just, make a new story about Nazis or whatever. And
I'd say also the characters click together well. Like Sully, I like Sully. The vagina stuff is so bullshit.
You gotta have Sully.
You gotta have Sully.
You have to have
Bro,
Sully.
it's hilarious. Tom Hanks literally looked like Sully from the fucking game. I was just going like, is this a spin-off? Like, you made that before fucking the original? That's like starting with the Han Solo movie. If they started off like the reboot of Star Wars with like the Chris Pratt standalone, God knows that would have been a better movie and a better way to start it. But
who do you think they should cast as Sully if they do?
That's a great fucking question. Like, honestly, I would kind of say Tom Hanks from that movie, but like, since you can't, it'd be too meta. I'm like, what? Sully? He's Sully and he's 2 Sullys. Let's see. I wouldn't want to Sully his ego. Horrible pun, but let's see.
That's tough because I mean, you gotta have like a veteran actor. You gotta have. He has to have the charisma. That's tough. I mean,
I'm trying to think. Like, it's basically like kind of Nathan Drake's like Alfred, that surrogate father figure. So who are good for those roles that aren't too
maybe
old?
Like Sean Connery.
Sean Connery is exactly. But Indiana Jones, like that'd be getting too meta. Exactly. Like that's pretty much who he is. Like I want somebody gruff, like less Scottish, smokes more cigars. Like that's what I'm picturing. Sean Connery, less Scottish, less domestic abuse, more cigars. So who is that?
Maybe I forget the actor's name, but Dale from The Walking Dead. What's his face?
Oh, has he ever done anything else? Because like I literally can't think of anything else with him.
No, he's.
I think he might be too chubby. Like you need somebody who's a little bit able to like do stunts and stuff. But I agree with that face. Like I keep picturing like black guys. Like I kind of want like Ving Rhames and guys like that. Like I don't know, but that's a tough one. Solely, there's a lot of like honestly, you could get a lot of older guys. You know who I'd kind of like? No, but honestly, that one I'd leave up. Where there's a lot of those older actor guys that don't get a lot of work, are always the most interesting guy in any movie. Like, but honestly, none are coming to mind. Like I'll be honest, but
yeah. No, but you gotta have Sully in there.
Definitely.
They work so well together in the games, so gotta have Sully.
Sully, Nathan, and just write a romance half fucking decent, please, in it, because that's where you can most improve from the game.
Not the blonde girl.
Oh, she's the worst. And just every game they break, like it ends with them together, and then the next one's we broke up again. Like it's just like fucking fuck the bitch or kill her. Like just stop. Like. Well,
Are they married? Are they married in the fourth one?
I don't know. I haven't played the fourth one. I'm 3.
Yeah, me neither.
So. Yeah, no, I meant to steal it from your fucking little brother before I left for college, but didn't get that done.
Yeah.
But,
all right, you want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, so we got London Has Fallen / Olympus Has Fallen / I think it's Angel Has Fallen 3. So it's the third net franchise starring
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. Gerard Butler.
Yeah, fucking.
Yes. So do you care?
I give a shit. It's Die Hard with a Scottish accent, but it would be funny though, just with Angel. Like I know it's supposed to be like Los Angeles Has Fallen, and that's too much of a mouthful. But and too many Hispanic undertones for the white American market. But and like probably a little too narcissistic to make a movie about in LA about what if LA fell apart. Like who gives most of the country would be like, yeah, fucking thank you, morally depraved, non-religious, liberal, commie, pinko bastards. But it'd be funny. There's a really shitty movie called Angel, I think. It had Paul Bettany, the guy. Like I know he did the Marvel movie as Vision, but what's the one that he's really big for? I can't remember the movie that I first noticed him in. But he plays an angel, has to like fight other angels. It's a really shitty movie, but it's funny.
Is he in Hellboy?
Yeah, he's in Hellboy. Yeah, he is. And but he plays a fallen angel. He's like a fallen angel with an 8-pack, and he has like Uzi machine guns, and he's protecting like the Antichrist or something. And it has a quarterback from No, not Priest. Like that's another shitty religious movie he did. That was one with Anthony Hopkins. But but it'd be funny if that Legion. That's it.
Yes.
But it'd be funny if he had a crossover with Angel Has Fallen. With him, because that movie is basically Angel Has Fallen. Like that's what I picture when I hear Angel Has Fallen, not fucking that.
When I heard that, I'm like, what the hell is like? I don't even know what to think, to be honest. Yeah. Like, I've heard the idea of going to LA, but I don't know. I just think
it doesn't work. Like what's the famous Kurt Russell movie that was awesome? Escape from New York, and then they tried to do Escape from LA, and it was fucking dog shit. Of course, it's hilarious. We have to be honest. Like, yeah, okay, if somebody puts effort, you can't fault a movie. But and like everybody's taste is equal. But if somebody's favorite Escape from movie is the LA one, they have objectively shitty taste. Like, it's kind of like if your like favorite Transformers was like, I don't know, fucking any of them. Like, I don't know, the movies instead of the TV show. The first one's okay. I agree. Like, but we were all middle schoolers and grew up with like. What's her fucking name? The psycho who called him worse than the Jews. Yeah, Megan Fox's thighs going over the motorcycle, so we were willing to forgive anything.
That's the only reason when we saw the trailer, we're like, okay, I'll give you some.
And we're like, hey, my dick's probably as big as Shia LaBeouf's, so I'll get into this. I won't feel so emasculated.
When I heard Angel Has Fallen was coming out, I immediately thought of San Andreas with The Rock. I feel like that did what the first two in the franchise didn't do well. Like, it was completely stupid, but I feel like The Rock is more likable than Gerard Butler. I don't know. Like, the movie was stupid, but I don't know. Having The Rock, I can watch anything with him, so I'm just fine with seeing 2 more of those, but not the Gerard Butler led.
I like Gerard Butler. Franchise. I like Gerard Butler though in more like it just makes no sense to me having the Scottish man saving the American president. It's like if we had fucking Bruce Willis saving the Prime Minister of England. Like, it just is stupid to me. Like, I gotta like how it doesn't make sense, but it's stupid. But I like Gerard Butler. Like, one of my favorite movies ever is Rock and Rolla. And in that, it's like this great ensemble piece by Guy Ritchie, British Tarantino, and he's kind of the lead guy. I think they were called the wild cards, and so there's Ace of Spades, King, Queen, all that. Queen, of course, is like the gay guy. But it was just an awesome fucking movie. So I like him in that British fucking culture, and I get that maybe he wants to be the big... I mean, it seems like most of his success is honestly in the stupid chick flicks like P.S. I Love You and like Silver Surfer, not Silver Surfer, the fucking Jesus... my arm got bit off by a shark. Dad, teach me how to swim again. You know, I'm blanking. It's something surfer. Shark bit my... Soul Surfer. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Plays at all our fucking Jesus conferences. But, the Lord heal you. But,
I think I saw that.
Yeah, bad. I saw 10 minutes and I was like, I'm going to fucking I'm going to get a shark to bite my arm off if I had to watch the rest of this. But like, that's where most of his bread and butter has been, in these, like, family films. But I like him when he's doing... something with a bit of humor and grit, because he's a tough guy. Like he had a great scene in Rock'n'Rolla where he's dealing with like this Russian assassin who's trying to get him. So he like shoots this guy, but it's that thing where he won't die. So he like he's running on these train tracks. The Russian guys follow him, and he does the. It was before any of us had seen it. And I'm doing the motion, you can't see it because you're fucking listening, of the stick, like brushing your teeth, but shoving a dick in your mouth, an invisible dick. So he does that to the Russian fucking like cyborg. It was almost like a scene out of Terminator. But yeah, I like him in those kind of things. But I mean, bottom line, I haven't seen any of them. I could give a shit. It's shitty Scottish Die Hard. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, and the reason they make money. That's why they keep.
Did this? Yeah, clearly, if there's a third one. Like I didn't expect the second one to succeed. Like everybody was super surprised by the first one. Like the trailers seemed cliche. Like it was, it was interesting. I think I just had an interesting connection. Like even though last podcast didn't get uploaded, the last couple of weeks we had this sort of trend. Like our conversation topics, there's always a movie, a classic '90s movie being remade, whether it's cartoon Disney things or whatever, right? But what's interesting is the most successful recent movie in memory was Jurassic World, based off '90s classic, and then Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen is just a re-fucking boxing of the '90s Die Hard films. Like it is this thing of like the big '90s staples blockbusters just being repackaged. Like it's almost like the statute of limitations has expired. We can cash in on this shit, and audiences are like, it's almost like audiences got saturated and now it's leaked out like sponges, and so they want to soak it all up again. But
that's a good point, because there's been a lot of those and they've basically all failed except for Jurassic World, which is like a huge like freaking hit. Like Terminator Genesis.
That's true.
What else?
But yeah, because the last Terminator, although I guess like Salvation kind of counts, but like the last official Terminator was like 3, and that was like 2004 or something, right? Like it was a while ago. Huh.
Yeah, but like that's a good point. Jurassic World was the only one that's been a success for a studio. So
for official, and then Olympus was like a repackaging, and then Jungle Book. That's 40s, but yeah, like it is interesting. Like they're trying to cash in on the 90s again. Like I guess maybe Dope succeed. Like Dope was just literally worshiping 90s, which I love. Like that's more what I prefer rather than just a repack. It's totally different. No. Yeah. Dope is artistic achievement. Dope was dope. Well, every fucking review. How dope was dope? It was pretty dope. Oh, you're the first person to think of that.
You found the tagline for the poster.
Yeah, exactly. But I had a buddy who sold all those drugs Bitcoin style. It's fucking weird, man. Get a fucking chopped off dick in the mail. All right, what's the Game of Thrones style? You'll get that once you finally fucking watch, which will apparently be doing.
You want to get into some trailers?
Yeah, let's get into trailers. I'm very excited to talk about it.
All right, first let's get with Logan, the Wolverine 2 or 3 or
whatever you want to call it. Okay. Yeah. So every fucking podcast we end up yelling at each other belligerently about how me saying comic book movies are creatively bankrupt and it's just a fucking system. This trailer was fucking great. I fucking loved the song by Johnny Cash. It was the shit. I just fucking downloaded it. It hit me immediately. I love Logan looking old as shit. You probably actually paid for it, though, because you're a good fucking shit. But I'm a cunt who like, wants people to pay me for art but doesn't pay for it myself. But this is exactly what they need to do. If this is going to be Hugh Jackman's last movie, treat it like his last movie. So I like that they're going all in. They're not doing like, kind of what they're trying to do with Robert Downey, where they're just going to like have it suddenly there's a younger looking Iron Man like that. You can tell they're kind of hoping for that. They're going all in with this is Hugh Jackman's last movie. Like, I love that there are no other mutants like this. Like, this is an original thought. In the YouTube comments, they basically summed it up perfectly. They called it X-Men meets The Last of Us. And that's totally what it is. Yeah, and I fucking love it. And, like, the chick, she looks like Discount 11 from Stranger Things. Like, she just looks straight, like, it's tapping into things, but it still feels original. I fucking, I'm always down for the damaged man trying to redeem himself, with the innocent child and, like, how to protect her. I like that fucking Professor X is in it, so it's not just the one stable X. It's like, yeah, fucking pay him and have some, internal cohesiveness to this universe. Like, I'm fucking excited. I didn't see the latest X-Men movie. I saw Deadpool.
It wasn't that
exactly.
Great.
Like, this seems a great way to... Oh, probably because Matthew Vaughn didn't have anything to do with the screenplay. But yeah, I'm fucking excited as shit. It looks awesome. Like, granted... I got excited from, I didn't even see the last Wolverine that I think was just called Wolverine, but I got excited from that with the whole exploring him in World War II, but it sounds like they kind of just, it was a quick thing, and they spoiled it all in the trailer. That was one thing. This one didn't spoil much in the trailer. I got very excited first couple seconds, got a little, like the music was so awesome that you ignore it, but got a little bit like, cautious seeing all the like soldiers and, motorcycles and trucks and we're like, I don't know if I want that. That gave me kind of X-Men Origins flashbacks, Wolverine Origins. I'm like, But, the music's awesome. I like the old, like, it has that post-apocalypse vibe with, just the truck driving, abandoned highway feeling, The Walking Dead, all that. So I'm fucking down. It's all about delivery. Because James Mangold, the director of Wolverine in this one, he's hit or miss. He is fucking hit or miss. He has done, like, he did a movie called Identity that I really liked, that had a good twist, like, but superhero-wise, he's pretty hit or miss to me. Like, I mean, I still didn't see Wolverine, so I'm talking out of my ass. But I'm excited. I'm excited for a comic book movie.
I didn't like the last Wolverine.
Okay.
I didn't like the whole World War II vibe. Uh-huh. But this trailer, the great thing about it is that if you didn't know it was a Marvel adaptation, you just think it was like a straight-out drama.
Exactly.
That's the great thing about it. They need to evolve. They need to be in their own genre. You need to mix it up.
Exactly. It's not. It doesn't look as fucking cookie cutter. Here's what it is. It's raising the stakes. So like, here's the problem with comic book stuff. I've given you the example in Walking Dead. Fine. Rick can't die. Then you have to cripple them. You have to make them fall in love with people who do die. It's why James Bond it gets old though if you do the same thing every time. Where James Bond. Every fucking movie he falls in love with a bitch and she dies at the end. Ooh, boo-hoo. We've seen it a million times. Doesn't matter. But, Rick in the comics, both his hands end up crippled. Sorry, I hit the mic. Fuck you. This is free. He both his hands are fucking crippled. He shoots his own son in the fucking face. He comes to care about people. They die. Like, you break them in different ways. Fine, you can't kill them off, but you break them. You break and rebuild and you put them through pain. But in comic book movies, fine, these characters will never die, but they don't do anything new. But if you skip ahead to the future and you say these horrible things happen, and it's a ballsy move. It's Parks and Rec skipping ahead 3 years. Like, it's a dangerous move. And it's hard. Very few shows can ever actually fill in that gap well. It's been done so rarely well. But I want them to do it well here. But you're
and the great thing about it is, like, you can tell that Wolverine and Professor X, they're so damaged.
Yeah.
And I think the film is showing like what would happen to these characters if they were at like their retirement phase, like at the end of their life. Like, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
It looks so,
and clearly it's given the feeling.
So
and it's given the feeling. There's no other mutants left, so it's like I don't want to know. I don't want to find out in the movie. Maybe I do. If they came up with a good enough way, then I want to fucking know how it ended. But I'd rather it's hinted to and they save that for another movie. But we just, we see just that scene where they're yelling at each other and Hugh Jackman's holding back the tears and he's yelling at Professor X. And I want to see Professor X with his soul gone, where he feels like he fucked up most of all and Hugh Jackman's pissed and he's damaged because Hugh Jackman, has the thing living forever. So it's tough for him to have relationships, and so losing him is that much more traumatic. It's like, the kid who was lonely always, and so once he makes friends, very scared to lose him. So he's that lone wolf. That's literally like how it boiled down his character. So you fucking made them die. Like, I want that confrontation. And one of the best things in Parks and Rec season 7 is they skip ahead 3 years or whatever, and then Leslie and Ron aren't friends anymore. And I'm hoping for something kind of there with you. I know it's a lot to fit into, hour and a half, 2-hour movie. And so I hope they hit the beats. You have to be very economical. And then giving Hugh Jackman redemption through the child. I'm always for that story. That story will never get old. Unless they start getting hacky-tacky about it. But yeah, I'm fucking down, man.
And I've heard that the child in the trailer, the girl, she's X23. She's like the I don't know much. I think she's like a little Wolverine. Like, she has the...
I never read that part of the comics. I've read some great. I read all the classic '80s X-Men written by, I think, Chris Claremont, and I read Wolverine, a lot of like standalone Wolverine stuff because I always liked him as a character. But I didn't read. I never I think the most current X-Men comics I read was like Age of Apocalypse, and then a little bit after I read the Grant Morrison run. But I didn't read. There was a great. I think it was Jim Quesada and somebody else who did a great standalone 4-issue thing with Wolverine that was fucking profound. But they're clearly not going there with this one because I didn't get anything with X23 or W23. Like, I do get kind of I don't like it when it's this everybody is an offspring of you, like kind of how they try to make Deadpool an offspring of Wolverine at first. In the comics he kind of is, but he's also got other stuff. Like in the comics, Deadpool, at least in the run I read, written by the Ben 10 guy. The guy went on to create Ben 10, actually, which is weird because that was my childhood. Yeah. But when he falls in love with death and stuff, he's able to heal from Wolverine's thing. But so I don't like when they get too connected, but I'm down. Like, if there's a sort of way where I don't know, I'm not familiar with the character, but what if she actually is his child or something like that? Like, I'd like something where there are these deeper. There's a lot of stuff that they can explore. Like, I'm fucking ready. They have me sold on the journey. I don't feel like things are too spoiled. I don't think it's not looking cliche. I mean, it's not. It's pretty easy. Just don't have any dialogue to not seem cliche in a trailer. So they did that.
Exactly.
But and it had some adrenaline looking shots. Like, I liked it. I didn't totally like the one shot of like shaky cam as somebody's going up a stairwell. I did not like that shot. Right? Thank you. That shot was just not. I was like, everything else had great visual cohesiveness, and then that I was like, what the fuck? But the song and the fact that they seem to be going all in, where I'm like, fuck yeah, this is creative integrity, this is taking a risk, so I'm fucking with you. Whether it burns horribly, I'm going to be marveling, no pun intended, at the fucking what they do.
This was a great trailer, had a great song, but I've been kind of burned in the past where I know it's a great trailer, but I know it has a great song, and it kind of gets me in the theater. So I'll be hesitant, but for now, I'm completely sold on it. So.
Like, bottom line, I'll go to theaters for this movie, which is rare for me. Like, I told, with every trailer, I go, Star Wars Episode 7 had one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen. It was one of the most dog shit movies I've ever seen. Mostly because of the expectations, so it's all relative. But yeah, so I'll definitely be cautious, but I am very optimistic. But,
all right, you want to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'll let you go first on this one. Since I'm first on the other, so.
Okay, so this isn't technically a trailer. I mean, the director, James Gunn, called it a sneak peek, and because there's going to be a trailer coming soon. So this is the start. It's fine. Like, it had cool visuals. It had the song from the first one, Hooked on a Feeling, that played over it. It just kind of, it was just there for the fans to reintroduce us to the characters. Again, the visuals are great. It just kind of got me back into it. I'm glad we got it, but I'm not gonna like freak out over it because I didn't really get anything. On the one hand, the scene with Drax and Star-Lord was
hilarious.
Gold. Yeah. Like, you need to find a woman that's pathetic.
Great. No, comedic gold for sure. I really like their choice to go with Hooked on a Feeling again, so that way none of the new music for mixtape volume 2 won't be spoiled. So I'm very happy with that. I like that they're going forward. So it's a little bit, with these fucking Marvel movies, they're basically TV shows. So, what season 2 of the show, will they or won't they? So they're going with that for Star-Lord and Gamora. But And I like that. We got the little hint of like I was gonna say, you almost get no hint of what the plot's gonna be, which I like. No spoilers, but you do see Merle from The Walking Dead. I can't remember his name in the movie. I like that shot. There it is. That shot of slow motion, like people floating around him. I was like, that looks awesome. Cool. But I mean, I was super fucking down. It got me hooked on a feeling, of course. And also I like the sort of meta-ness of how that song has a new meaning now, where Guardians of the Galaxy was so successful. I really want this one to make $1 billion. Like, I want it to succeed. Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel movie, probably in the Marvel universe. I'd probably go first class for all of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm fucking down, and I like the meta-ness of hooked on a feeling where, in a way, I'm hooked on Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it's that thing where it's like, we're bringing you back, like, here's the crack, fresh crack, get your crack, gluten-free, organic, all natural, locally sourced, So I'm fucking down, I'm fiending, I'm scratching my nipple. I'm not super, like, I just want it to be good. Like, I want it to be as good. I'm very scared, because Guardians of the Galaxy is very precious to me, so.
But, yeah. I didn't know that, okay. Yeah, I like the trailer. Just, I don't know. It's not supposed to give you a lot. Like, it was like what, like 90 seconds?
Yeah, 90 seconds. Right? Did you stay for the complete end where you see Baby Groot on Rocky's back? That was good. I died laughing. I paused it on that. I have it up still. Like, it was so great. I was just like.
I love like the little noise from Baby Groot, like the
yeah, that was great. Yeah. No, I'm super excited. And it had a darker tone, which I'm thinking, like, if Guardians of the Galaxy ends up being a trilogy, second one tends to be the most profoundest. Like, they still got a lot of shit to explore, like Kurt Russell possibly being Star-Lord's dad. Like,
should I say anything?
Don't. Or if it's a spoiler, don't. I don't want. Thank you. But yeah, if Kurt Russell didn't get it, fine. I can.
Should I tell you the character that he's playing?
No, don't give me a name. But I'm guessing, his father's, whatever, like that, all that stuff.
Well, it's really out there and weird, but.
Okay, then I'd rather just be surprised when I see it. But yeah, I'm looking for it. Like, they got shit to explore, and I'm saying, like, it's just staying on the same, because it's tough, because it's been 2 years, and it's probably gonna come out 2017, I'm guessing. So it's gonna be 3 years since the last one came out, which is good. So it better be good. But I hope they're in either the same creative space where it's a continuation, or they've grown as people, and so they're exploring completely different stuff with the same characters. I'm curious.
Yeah, I know everyone says this, but I want every sequel to be like The Empire Strikes Back, where it gets darker and the characters grow. But I hope it's not just like a rehash. Like, I don't want.
Exactly. That's what I'm most scared of. Exactly. Like, we need, but like, it's weird because James Gunn is a fucking indie dude. Like, super. Like, he was not critics' favorite. I know you didn't. Super's one of my favorite movies. It is fine. It gets better each time. Like, I didn't super love Super my first time either, ironically. But like, he's not a guy. Honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy is one big hit. Everything else people are pretty divided on. So I wonder if he can do it again. Like, I hope he's sticking with the same co-writer. I can't remember the chick's name, but they did a great job together on the first one. I'm curious what, like, the opening scene will be, because the first one for Guardians of the Galaxy was such a just, like, letting you know this is different than all the other Marvels. Him walking through the caves to the song, kicking the little CGI animals. Like, so how's this one going to be?
The opening scene, they released a photo, like, so the Guardians get hired to, like, take down this, like, space monster. Like it's kind of
That's a good way to.
Like an octopus.
It sounds honestly like, please do. It sounds kind of like, shit. I think I know why I like Guardians of the Galaxy so much. It reminds me.
It's like the A-Team.
Yeah, exactly. No, it reminds me of Teen Titans. That's what it reminds me of childhood-wise, where it's, you have the alien character like Starfire who is, not familiar with the Earth phrases, and it just has more like 80s jokes, while Teen Titans had more like video games being an elementary student jokes, and Beast Boy being, very meta and funny, but like, it's really just like a more adult version of Teen Titans with Marvel shit, like with more space shit, like. And I think, and when you think about it, after Teen Titans episode 1, where the whole group gets together and all that, episode 2 is who's our next enemy. That's the great way. You show how things have changed. So that's perfect. Follow the fucking Teen Titans blueprint. That's one of the best TV shows of my childhood. Exactly. So I'm down.
I need to watch that again.
Bro, it fucking holds up. The finale of Teen Titans made me bawl my eyes out. Like, that show was rated TV 7 while Justice League was TV, 14. It should have been reversed. Like, Teen Titans, Justice League had whatever, more, close to cuss words, things like crap. But Teen Titans explored way darker themes than Justice League ever did. Except for that one where they go down to hell and, Wonder Woman's getting raped by the devil or whatever. I'll give them, that's pretty fucked up. That one stung me a lot. I think that gave me, my first boner, which is probably why I'm a fucking sadist in the bedroom who choke fucks the shit out of bitches. But Teen Titans, mellowed me out and gave me the self-analysis and Terra and all that. But yeah, it's...
Totally.
I'm fucking down, man. But yeah, I'm excited.
Exactly.
So, 2 great fucking shows to me. I get that you weren't as... I agree. Guardians of the Galaxy trailer much more was cashing in on which they have every fucking right to, cashing in on what they did before, where you're really just going to be, if this was the first one, you'd be like, I could give a shit. But because the first one.
It's not even a trailer. It's just, it's supposed to, it's just for the
I like what they did audio with the song, though, because it wasn't just Hooked on a Feeling. They had some, hints of it being the darker one with, some background ambience that made me go, huh, is this going to be the Empire Strikes Back / Dark Knight? I fucking hope so. And Indiana Jones 2 and all that. But yeah, I'm excited. And then, with Logan, there really hasn't been the great Wolverine movie, so they aren't able to cash in. They have to give you something new to get your ass in the seat. So it's an interesting thing.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
All right, so I got the next topic here. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, so this was last week because we couldn't record last week, but
busy week.
We got AT&T purchasing Warner Brothers and everything that comes along with them for $85 billion.
$85 billion.
I can never fathom how
Jesus
these studios are worth that much.
That's fucking nuts.
$85.4 billion.
Bill Gates.
So that comes with all the properties, all the merchandise, all that stuff.
That's fucking insane.
It's
I'm just looking up how much Bill Gates is worth right now.
Probably more. I don't know. No, but it's interesting.
Bill Gates is worth $82 billion. Mark Zuckerberg worth 56. Close. Warren Buffett 64, and then some fucking foreign dude. So he's not white. Why do I care? But that's interesting. 85 billion. And I remember how the CEO of it, is it still that Asian guy Taka, who was literally just a home videos guy, and then he got put as CEO, and questionable job. Basically, back when we watched Beyond the trailer, when her full cuntiness hadn't reared its ugly cunt head. But yeah,
I will never stop bitching about
the Ice Queen. But that's interesting. $85 billion. Jesus Christ.
I wonder how it'll affect the film side of things.
Yeah,
because they don't really need to change.
Is that is it going to be a subsidy?
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, bottom line, they've invested too much into the whole Batman, creating the DC cinematic universe, even though it's really just not. It's very just grinding through kind of almost. It's almost like Russia. Holy shit! I have a great analogy. Marvel and DC right now is like Russia versus America Cold War, where Russia has just all these dark, cold slaves. They try to modernize the railroads and the 5-year plan. How I don't know, you probably didn't pay attention to history class, but the 5-year plan with how all these fucking poor Russian slaves died. Basically the fucking train is just the train of the DC universe is just grinding over the skeletons of Christopher Nolan, all these great people, and just forgetting it, trying to modernize and get the future. Christopher Reeves, and just failing and not at all competing on the same level as Marvel for just real financially and critically. It's not even in the same fucking league. It's barely playing the same fucking game. It's sad. And the thing is, Russia, once you spend $40 billion on it and 2,000 lives have been lost, you're all in. There is no turning back. That's a good analogy. And then Marvel has been west, the world of the West, where all the success comes easy, capitalism. Paul Feige, I guess, is fucking, I don't know, Ronald Reagan. I don't like him, but I grudgingly respect what he's doing. But he's definitely molested some people. He looks like a failed clown. He was just upset, I could have made it. But he looks like Louis C.K's failed clown brother. But
well, people don't really like clowns these days because those. Whatever.
Oh, then yeah, I know. Calgary got shut down. All that, yeah. Apparently they're getting the shit beat out of them, which I think is funny. Like, take a joke, but yeah.
I heard some guy is dressing up as Batman and like trying to take down clowns.
Like, that's hilarious. That's too totally smart. Legit. I should have thought of that. That's great.
But like, I feel like so what the DC universe is like 3 films in. You got Man of Steel, Batman, and then Suicide Squad.
And then Justice League is already like filmed and stuff. And
so is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman too. Shit. Batman's already had like there's just so much invested. The thing is like. They're going quantity over quality, which is what I accuse Marvel of usually. But Marvel has kept, Marvel, if you go to fucking Metacritic and IMDb, like they don't have a movie under 6.7 on IMDb. And on Metacritic, they don't have a movie under like 64 probably. But DC, they don't have a movie above like 60 on Metacritic. They're like the opposite of those. Like they don't have a movie above those things.
Yeah. And they took time to get to the Avengers. They gave most of them their own films, except Hawkeye.
Definitely. No, it's definitely rushed with DC. It's like, who gives a shit? He has a bow and arrow. It's definitely rushed with DC, no question. When they're playing catch up, they should take the time. Like DC's hoping for one good one that gets everybody to go, okay, I'll watch the rest. While Marvel started with, we just want to make one great movie called Iron Man, and said, oh shit, what if we just did all these? Exactly. It's the wrong where. Marvel was just like swimming in a river in California, and then they just stepped on like a fucking nugget of gold, and DC's like living in Missouri, like fucking scrounging in the dirt, and there's not gold in Missouri. DC, stop, like you're not gonna find it. But basically they should have done. I remember I got so sad. I was just like, make it with fucking Christian Bale, or don't make it at all. And because, I mean, they still kept the gritty tone. It was like, what is the point of having the whole gritty side? Ben Affleck was not the problem. No, Ben Affleck's not the problem, but I'm just saying, like, it'd be much better. Batman was a solid fucking A1 foundation, and then if you introduce Superman after that as part of that, that should have been the trouble. Instead of starting with Superman, then doing, trying to create, like, a pre-Justice League, like, really a tri-character film. Like, it was just... a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking But
exactly. So just that the AT&T side of it. I think the main reason they bought it is for the cable
Warner Brothers or HBO, all that.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, like HBO's bottom line succeeding. Like I mean, they win all those Emmys. Like I mean, Westworld's the shit. Game of Thrones is besides season 5 is the shit. Like it's True Detective season 1, not season 2. So it's like, I mean, they Curb Your Enthusiasm is probably one of the best comedies of all time. Like they have the content. It's just, I wonder how much this is going to change the landscape. Like we're not very much into like the business side. We're more about the art. But I wonder if there are any really big important, like if there's going to be any personnel changes. If like this might make like the Christopher Nolan Warner Brothers relationship sour or something. Like what could come out of this? Who knows? But it's interesting.
I mean, I imagine there might be some like internal changes, like maybe like a president or a CEO or whatever. Well, not the CEO, but like stuff that we won't really notice.
That's the thing.
They want to do it their own.
And heads of studio switch a lot, where it's just like you switch a lot, where it's almost the thing where you want to be head of studio, but you don't because you get blamed for every failure and like. Yeah, like half your job being head of studio is having a good scapegoat for the failures and then taking all the credit for the successes. Like it's kind of a bullshit thing, but it'll be interesting. Like I wonder if maybe there could be something as radical as like Zack Snyder will not be directing any more DC Universe films. Like that'd be a crazy level.
After Justice League,
I mean, I could see that. Like because I mean, bottom line, Batman vs Superman, even Man of Steel, it seemed like. Those movies were movies where they didn't profit while in theaters. It was on the home. Like it was only in all the nerds buying it and wanting to see it after that it maybe made its money, where it finally made a profit. But like, it seemed like they profited off the skin of their fucking nutsack, like by their fucking cunt hairs.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, speaking of Marvel, we got a Deadpool story here. So we got the director Tim Miller from the first one. He's leaving Deadpool 2. He's not directing it.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm not that upset.
You're fine with that?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's not like super successful or anything. Like, not to be a dick. Like, I thought he did a good job. It had some good visuals for sure. Like, I respect him for that. But to me, Deadpool, it's way more important. How good are the jokes? How good are the scriptwriters? Like, I would be very interested in if they gave that Zombieland writing duo a directing shot. Like, I think that would be very cool. Like, I want him to, because I always want to see Rhett Reese and Paul. I want to say Paul, but I don't know. Maybe just be Paul, the clown man in my head. But like, they have fucked up where I think they might have gotten a directing shot with like Battleship or Battlefield. You know what I'm talking about? That bad movie with Taylor Kitsch. I think they might have gotten to direct that. So I mean, they've done bad movies, unquestionably. They should stick to comedies with heart like Deadpool and Zombieland. Like, I'm fucking looking forward to Zombieland 2 still. Like, I fucking want that. I can't believe they did a TV show instead of a Zombieland 2. That made me so upset.
I never watched that.
I fucking refused. I abstained. Yeah. Oh, put in a Woody Harrelson lookalike. Go fuck yourself. But yeah, I mean, I want to see them direct, and I want to see if they, like, you know, because there is a tension in having, good things can come out of having different director than writer, and that True Detective Season 1. True Detective is a perfect example. True Detective Season 1, they got tons of fights, you know, direct, as an actor, who's in charge? Because usually directors don't direct all 8 episodes. You know, usually it's a different director every fucking week. Like, it's more, they're just almost just a manager. Like, these actors are professional. They've been doing this for years. Just, hey, and basically the director's more trying to curry favors so he can direct again. But it's more the writers. But, you know, and usually a writer doesn't write all 8 episodes. But, you know, Nick Pizzolatto is writer-creator, and then Cary Fukugawa, a guy who's been, like, Oscar-nominated even before that, is directing all 8. So who do you listen to? And if you look at the original scripts, like, the ideas were there, but the dialogue wasn't quite there. So something good came out of that tension, because Season 2 was dog shit. And also, definitely critics and Twitter cunts fucked up how Nick Pizzolatto perceived himself in his work, so I blame them somewhat too. But Season 2 wasn't at the same place, and I think part of that is there wasn't that tension. And so maybe those Zombieland writers and Deadpool guys are kind of like Nick Pizzolatto, where they need that tension of somebody saying, this doesn't work, and then maybe getting pissed off and disagreeing, but they go back and they write something better. You know, so I don't know, but I want to see them succeed. You know, the grand slam, writer, director, like, they don't act, but, you know, so fine, the double, but inside the park home run or something. But I want to see them I want to see them succeed and get some cred.
Well, going back to Tim Miller, he left because he wanted the film to be like a regular blockbuster. Like, he wanted like the big budget, the more you know, the more advertiser friendly film. You know? And Reynolds wanted the R-rated, gritty, low-budget film, you know? So they chose Reynolds over Tim Miller. So
I think that's the right choice. Like,
yeah. Reynolds made the project happen.
Definitely.
You know?
I totally respect him for that. Like, you've heard me bitch about how, like, I think Daniel Tosh if Daniel Tosh got a 6-pack, he would have been better. But I'm with you. Like, I totally respect him for doing what he had promised to the fans for, like, a decade. Like, that was a decade in motion, and he actually made it up to us and succeeded beyond most people's dreams. So, I mean, I give him cred there. But yeah, I mean, I think they should pay that writing duo whatever they fucking want, if they still have it in them. Because, I mean, it seems like they have to get a shitty movie out of their system after every great movie they make.
Yeah, that's usually
how it goes. Like, I'm scared, but
like, we got Deadpool, then we got X-Men Apocalypse. We're going to get Logan, which looks good.
Exactly, yeah. You got to wait. Like, exactly. X-Men 3, and then you get First Class. But then they did go First Class at Days of Future Past, so I'll give them that. But but that's just Matthew Vaughn being a fucking Matthew Vaughn. But I'm also saying with the duo, how they do, like, Zombieland, then they do Battleship, and then they do Red, which is like a funny, you know, old people as spies, and then they do Red 2. You know, it's like, whatever. But so we'll see. Exactly.
When they hit,
exactly. So. Like they're better for batting average than they're better as batters than as football players, I guess, like as quarterbacks.
But I'm glad they let Reynolds kind of do his thing, because he's producing it. He has a producer role, and I feel like when you have the smaller budget, it kind of makes you.
It forces you to be
and work harder.
Creativity through trauma.
It forces you to work with what you have. And I feel like if you made Deadpool like a big tentpole film, it wouldn't exactly work. And if you have a smaller budget, you have to make the jokes work better, and
everything else has to be shot. You don't get away with just like, look at those special effects. Definitely. Like I hope they do. Really, they should just spend more money on advertising to me, and basically just let the script has more potential to go places. So like maybe like I still want stuff where he's still a common man and like taxi scenes, but you know, stuff like in the hospital could have done better. Like it was kind of generic, you know, super villain hospital place. You know, like there's certain things that could have that slicker, almost like more Deus Ex Machina. I can't remember if it's just Deus Ex or Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex, right?
Ex Machina?
Yeah, Ex Machina. My bad. That's right. Thank you. Made more that Ex Machina where that was low budget indie, but they had that sleek, you know, all one location, but you know, upping it. It was visually beautiful. But yeah, so I mean, I'm excited. Maybe they'll let Daniel Tosh dub over Ryan Reynolds' abs, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have Cable in the movie.
Really?
Which he requires a lot of special effects. And by the way, Tim Miller wanted the guy from The Spectacular Now to play Cable.
The dad?
You know, the dad.
Kyle Chandler.
But Reynolds didn't want Kyle
really?
Chandler.
Why?
So it goes to, like, I don't know. I guess it goes to, like, what kind of Cable do they want? Because I think Chandler would work.
Kyle Chandler could do anything to me. Kyle Chandler, like, there are those guys that are sort of carrying on that Philip Seymour Hoffman legacy of being the most interesting part in any movie. Like, even if the movie's shit, the movie's worth watching for what they did. And that's Kyle Chandler. Like, that dude is a fucking master. I love that guy. He has demons that he knows how to fucking put on screen, and he would be the shit for that. Like, I fucking love that guy. Like, I mean, Wolf of Wall Street was great. Like, he steals the fucking show. But sorry.
Yeah, that scene in the Wolf of Wall Street on the boat with like Leo and.
So good.
Get off my boat.
Yeah.
Some fun.
Enjoy your sweaty fucking balls on the side. You know, go fuck your ugly wife and all that.
Enjoy your subway.
Exactly, and
to your miserable wives.
You know what I call these? Fun coupons and all that. Just fucking the lobster.
Hey, you want some lobster? You
yeah,
can't afford it.
Fucking. He goes. Say that again, and it's fucking. Oh, I fucking no. That's
no.
Yeah, it's so good.
The finger wave.
Amazing, spectacular. Now, amazing. He was in Argo. He was one of the better things about that. Like everybody likes Alan Arkin, but I loved him in that. He's just a great. He's probably the only reason Saturday Night's Live, the show, was a good show. I never watched it, but like, the man has chops, and he's carrying on that Philip Seymour Hoffman legacy. But whatever. Maybe they want a more bulky guy. I can understand that because Cable in the comics, he's like, fucking like. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger if Arnold Schwarzenegger swallowed the Rock. Like, he's ridiculous level of roid.
And a lot of people have wanted like a Stephen Lang kind of body type, like Stephen Lang.
I don't know Stephen Lang.
He was in Don't Breathe.
Didn't see Don't. Oh, the
blind guy.
Avatar guy.
He's an Avatar. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like that kind of more.
He
more
looks
bigger,
right.
bulkier
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
He has that military thing where he'd be good because Cable's all military. Like. Cable is kind of the other side of Deathstroke since Deadpool's based on Deathstroke. I always kind of saw Cable as more that military side of the personality, even though I get that he existed before it. But that's how I always kind of pictured like, especially for the Deadpool and Cable run, which is the one I was referring to that the Ben 10 guy wrote on that really developed the characters. But it's called Cable and Deadpool, kind of like Batman and Superman in a stupid meta way. But yeah, I wonder if they can pull that off because I bet like also like are they gonna have to maintain the romance and stuff like that's a hard thing. Like it was a Valentine's Day movie. Is it gonna do the Uncharted thing? Oh, we broke up. Like it's like that's something when you have the happy ending. Then what do you do?
No, just like try to avoid it. Like they were in a relationship, but like you don't have to.
Exactly, they did a decent job of subverting the cliches. Like in the end, it still had the guy and girl get together, but it dealt with stuff like what if you're god awful ass ugly. And it gave, it added things so complicated, make it where, I don't know, her and the black grandma give him shit and, she's still making ugly jokes about him and keeping it, where it's just the girlfriend, I guess, type at that level, but, or maybe they'll get in a sort of Highlander way where, he lives forever and she dies. I don't know how deep they want to get, but, probably not this one. That'd be kind of where they're at with the new Logan film.
It kind of bums me out because the idea of having Kyle Chandler sounds awesome, and now it's probably not going to happen because since Tim Miller's gone,
Is that no?
He's not
It's very interesting to think about the movies that could have been. For so many movies, like it's like if that one guy stayed attached, like what would as great as I didn't see Ant-Man, but as great as most people liked it, what if I was blank on this director's name. The guy who did Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead had stayed attached. What if Edgar Wright had stayed attached? Like, I mean, how that would have been Guardians of the Galaxy level movie. Like, that would have been one of those ones that I hold very dearly that I would have had to watch. Yeah. But
overall, it did work. But like, the notion of having Edgar Wright do a Marvel film, it sounds perfect. And when you watch it, you can tell.
You can feel those touches.
Script,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah. You want to move on now?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, so now we got a Star Wars story for the Han Solo movie that's coming on in a couple years.
I was just about to shit on it, but we're talking about Han Solo, and I like Alden Eichenbreken.
Yeah. All right, so they casted the young Lando.
I heard Childish Gambino.
Donald Glover.
Bro, I'm fucking.
What do you think about that?
I'm super surprised. Like, they are making amazing casting choices for this fucking thing, but it's very interesting because it kind of mirrors how when people said 21 Jump Street was going to be Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, people immediately were like, huh? Like, right? Like, is that like these guys know how to fucking cast? Like, Will Arnett as Batman, certain ones make Morgan Freeman as God, like things like that. But like, I trust these fucking guys. They have not failed me yet. Those guys, Christopher Lloyd Miller and the other guy.
Chris Lord and
yeah, sorry, I guess I just combined them as like one full name, but like those guys fucking know their shit, man. Like I fucking believe in them.
They're perfect.
Is that no? Like
they
must feel so happy to like be creatively fulfilled, working together. They haven't split up. Like they're not doing that. They're like the Coen. They're our generation's Coen brothers. Like the ego isn't coming in. They're sharing credit. They're killing it. They haven't made a bad movie. I mean, Coen brothers have made a bad movie. They still haven't yet. Like. And they're getting huge blockbuster chance now because they've shown what they can do with the small thing. I'm excited, and these casting choices are amazing to me. That they picked the guy at the top of my list for Han Solo, and I mean I didn't even think about London. Oh, no question. Either him or I would say Miles Teller would probably be top. It was hard between him and Miles Teller for me.
See, I wanted the guy from Kingsman. I wanted Taron Egerton.
I didn't want him. I didn't. He's too muscly. Okay. He's too muscly. Han Solo to me is a bit. He's got that. Not hipster, I fucking hate that word, but that slob, like the guy who, he's the cool, mysterious guy in the bar, not the guy who's the jock who's like, doing, beer keg push-ups, like, that he's the guy who's drinking the rum and vodka and, says, let's get out of here, huh? He's that guy, but, yeah, so I felt like, Alden Eichenbreken from that one scene in Hail Caesar, I went, fuck. This guy has got it. He's got the star factor. He's got everything. I love the scene with the chick when he takes her out on the date and he does the lasso and he takes out his fake teeth, which I think those must actually be his fake teeth. Which I love that he's willing to put that insecurity on stage. Like I fucking love that so much. It was such a real romantic moment. It was beautiful in its patheticness, like truly. But it was the beauty out of just awkward realness, and I fucking love it. And I just love that actor. And Miles Teller is the king of realness in my books. We're talking here now in Whiplash. Like, I don't need to say anything else. The dude should have won 2 Oscars by now. But, yeah.
No, definitely. I love the scene in Hail Caesar with him and Ralph Fiennes. Where the... What's so simple? Whatever.
Saying the classic...
What?
It's not so simple. Just so it's good. I felt like it was almost like Ralph Fiennes was supposed to be playing Wes Anderson, honestly, where it's like, what if you brought a Southern guy into what, right? Like, it's the dolls, like, very made-up, colorful, and then what if you brought, what's ironic is, like, Wes Anderson's from the South Texas, like, the Wilson brothers are all rednecks secretly, like, Owen Wilson still kind of plays the Southern guy, like, it comes out sometimes, so it's like, Wes Anderson, it's crazy that his aesthetic came out of, let's hunt some homos. Oh, I'm going to play Dollhouse, with my scars. Like, it's just... But, yeah, no, I really love that scene. But I always wonder... I wonder if the Coen brothers and Wes Anderson are friends. I feel like they would get along. Because they all work with the same actors a lot. They have that thing where the actors stay loyal, which I love. But, yeah, that's awesome. What do you think of Childish Gambino?
Well...
He's a little too skinny. That's my one thing. But...
that's not a problem. You can
that's true.
No problem. He gets paid to do that.
Yeah, that's true. They have $1 million in the contract.
Yeah. Exactly, but I guess he has the right swagger, like because Billy D. Williams, he was so perfect when he played it, and he didn't really have a big role, but when he did, it worked so well.
And you felt that they were actually friends, that they had a past, and now we're gonna explore that.
Which the great thing about it is that you can tell there was so many stories to tell. They talked about in the movies, like him losing the Falcon to right. So yeah, so that could. I'm
You're
so
down,
sold.
yeah. And bottom line,
Yeah.
Donald Glover's like how people talk about Kanye West, and I respect Kanye West, is more how I think about Donald Glover, where that dude has literally excelled in every medium. I will say I don't think his stand-up's that great, but bottom line, it's not shit. The dude has worked in every fucking medium and just succeeded, and people don't want him to because nobody likes seeing a good-looking person be talented in everything. Like, you're kind of not allowed to be talented in everything, but he just is. Yeah, musically, acting, he was fucking amazing on Community, writing, improv. You keep the whole cast entertained on Community. I watched behind the scenes. They'd be filming at 2 a.m. a lot because network is hard conditions. He'd be the guy keeping everybody motivated, like making everybody laugh. Like, he sounds like an awesome guy. And then Atlanta, he's getting his critical dick sucked hard. People let my fucking dad, he's like, I'm surprised my dad's a fucking current guy. My dad got me to finally sit down and watch Westworld, and then I finally catch up on Westworld. He's like, up to season 4 on Atlanta. Good stuff. And I'm like, shit, Dad, I can't keep up with you. Yeah. Like, I need a fucking job. Well, my dad, I'm proud of my dad. He has one of the least pretentious ways of watching it. Like, he just literally, when he got, how he used to watch it, he got everything from the library. So he would just get every new movie that came up, and he would just watch it. He wouldn't check critics. He just went blind in everything, which is how you should.
I respect that.
Like, granted, he watched a lot of shitty movies, but I mean, I fucking respect that movie.
It makes you appreciate the
exactly. Like, it's a realness. There's a realness where I'm a guy who's like, the ego, I'm like, my time is valuable. I don't want to risk watching shitty movies because as much as I might learn, I don't want that shittiness to infect me, and then I end up writing it, subconsciously, and then I write a shitty. Like, I'm very paranoid writer thing, but like, but I mean, I respect it.
Well, you can always find some light in the dark.
Oh, definitely. But like, what if I thought, fucking The Room was a great movie? Like, that'd be scary to me. Where now I have this idea in my head. It's better just to avoid it and just.
That would never.
True, I know.
Happen.
But I'm just saying.
That movie is a parody.
But it's weird how sometimes it works. Where Quentin Tarantino likes all these movies, like these, like just generic kind of very genre movies that like critics shit on, and like he talks about like just this super cheesy scene gives him the idea for some of the greatest things. So I mean, it isn't. You can make something great out of sort of the bizarre collection of the bad. Like, it's an interesting thing, but I'd rather just watch things that everybody agrees is great. And then, but I'm not somebody who, like, refuses to watch a bad movie. I can definitely enjoy that. But yeah. So.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Are you going to get into some TV stuff?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so The Walking Dead had its season premiere on Sunday night. And ever since last... in March, they've been teasing this for 6 months. So back in the season 6 finale, Negan, he killed someone, but it was from a POV. It was a POV shot when it happened, so they didn't reveal who they killed.
Okay, so a POV of like just a shadowed body and him smacking towards the camera. Is that what you're saying? Gotcha.
Yes. Everyone joked that he killed the cameraman, but like, so season 7. So this is spoilers, by the way, but everyone's watched it basically. Like. It had the second highest episode rating. It got 17 million, and that's before like DVR and all that. So
people are talking about it a lot. I'll give it that.
Yeah. So I told you what happened.
Yeah, I think so. But just go down it. You're good. I want to hear Ralph's fucking perspective on it.
Oh yeah. So about 10 minutes in, and they tease the crap out of it in the episode. They make you wait the longest possible moment until they actually do it. But so he kills Abraham.
I knew that is.
It wasn't as brutal as the next death, but it was still kind of hard because they didn't show a lot of like shots hitting his head. Like they showed the first 2 hits, and then you could just hear the smashing while the camera panned to everyone else like watching Negan kill him. So it was kind of brutal to like see everyone's reactions to it. And it was really well done. But then when you get to the second death, which was Glenn, it was really brutal because they did the comic book moment where he hit him like twice, and then you could see his eye popping out and like the top of his head smashed in, and it was so brutal because he was like trying to talk to Maggie, but he couldn't because his face was smashed in. So it was really sad.
That sounds great.
Negan hit him like twice, and then he let him sit there while his face was like screwed up for like.
Because they're milking the emotional beat.
Like,
I gotcha.
Put him out of his
yeah,
misery,
I feel you.
You know, like
I actually really want to watch it just because, and I feel like it'll be better. Where the only reason I can't watch The Walking Dead is just really bad scenes that kill the critical douchebag writer dialogue in me, but and just when it's really poorly written, I'm just going fuck this show because I get so frustrated and I can't even hate watch it, but it's worth it for once in the fucking blue moon when they write a good emotional beat. Because bottom line, the reason all you cunts keep watching is because you're hooked because they got you to care about characters. Because for 2 seasons, that was one of the best shows on television. It was a part of the Renaissance, and they got you to give a shit about. They wrote a lot of characters super well, and so you're willing to go on a journey with them. You're willing to forgive mistakes, and you have a higher mistake threshold or whatever that means. But it's just. Like, I mean, I feel kind of sad that I don't get to have the same thing, but, like, I feel like I can probably still feel the emotion just because I still remember scenes from The Walking Dead that I loved from seasons 1 and 2 and first half of season 3. Like,
totally. Yeah. And the reason Glenn's death it hit you more hard is because, one, it was more brutal, but also you've known him for a lot longer.
He was first episode guy. The fucking pizza man. You saw him grow. You saw him go from the fucking pussy who gets pushed around to being a man and find it kind of. He's the one that probably most awkward, dopey white guys like us attached to most in the show. Where that's our kind of dream of being that guy. So it's like weird way of seeing yourself die.
One of my favorite characters. He's so down
to earth. Not a cunt.
And he was one of the there's not a lot of Korean actors in TV shows. So I guess the Korean community kind of seeing him because he wasn't this stereotypical character. He wasn't playing some
Chinese food. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a down to earth guy.
No, and and also I think he has a bit of almost the Spider-Man thing. I'd say is why he clicks also for you. Is he's the very teenagery at first, but he's the guy who he's almost more brave than the rest because you feel his fear more than anybody else. So when he is courageous, at least early on, I didn't see the later episodes when it's, we're so dirty and grimy, it's hard. Like Walking Dead is fucking Marvel movies with more dirt. But, he is the guy who, when he had to do those hard things early on, you're like, shit, I'd be scared to do that. But I hope I could do it. Putting the fucking zombie intestines on yourself, stuff like that. But you feel he was more brave because he was more sheltered to be able to do that. Rick was a cop. He dealt with death and stuff like that. But Glenn was a fucking pizza guy. Glenn wore his Yankees hat backwards and, was shy to talking to the girl and had that adorable scene when they were in the doctor's clinic getting the pregnancy stuff for Laura. But,
and he had the condom in his hand.
All that. Exactly. And then they get that. Maggie wasn't a cunt then and stuff like that.
And dude, okay. The reason the scene was so hard when Negan kills him is because you can see Maggie looking at him and she's crying and it's just so brutal.
So Maggie was in there with him? She doesn't die? I don't understand the context.
No. Okay, so they were all on their knees.
Oh, I see.
There's probably 9 of them.
Just the whole group? The whole group or only some of them? Is Rick there?
I believe there was Rick, Daryl, Glenn.
So everybody who's still alive, you can get just everybody who's still alive, right?
Yeah. More or less, yeah. Besides Carol and Morgan.
Gotcha.
So it was just kind of really brutal. I'll send you the link to the scene, but I think I think in a couple of years when we can look back on it, I think it's going to be one of the more memorable scenes in all of television, to be completely honest. Cause it was so
it's a scene that's...
see the brains and the blood.
It's a scene that's 6 seasons in the making, but this is why, shows like Game of Thrones, even though Game of Thrones can be super cheesy and poorly written, I give more respect to them because they're writers that are willing to kill their darlings. The Walking Dead has killed 3 characters in its whole run. I'm glad that they finally did, and I give them total props, but it took fans, it took a lot of people like me leaving the show because, we can never kill Daryl. Too many people like Daryl. We can't, Rick said a show, can't kill Carl, they were pussies about it, and so... this is the reality where people always go I ask people, would you keep watching this character die? And they go, I don't know. And that's the thing. If you do polling, they're going to say, I don't know, probably not. But in reality, you're hooked you like other characters, like, you know, you're going to keep watching and you're going to be grateful that it made you experience something real. And it's this thing where don't just give them what they think they want. Show them what they want. The fucking Steve Jobs is a fucking douche, but he's right about don't just give them what they think they want. Show them what they realize they never wanted. You know, that's the job of art. You don't just ask the audience like, so what do you want us to do next episode? Like Lost did. That's where Lost.
Yeah, don't pander.
Yeah, exactly. That's where Lost got. Exactly. It's fake. It's pandering. Have creative vision and put your audience through something. Make them experience something. So, but I mean, congrats to Walking Dead. I mean, everybody's freaking out about it on the fucking social media. But yeah, people seem to.
Yeah, no, it was a shit show that night. Like people were like freaking out.
Did you cry? Did you cry, Ralph? Not that good.
I had one tear. Okay. That's it.
So.
Yeah, because it was really brutal. But
do you think it was well executed or just the brutalness? Do you think it was also well written or no?
I think. Yes. Okay. So. You mean like the episode in general?
Yeah, the episode in general.
Yes, I do, because they show off Negan. His lines were so great. Okay. Like, cool. In the death scenes and in the episode, they go to So basically, Negan tries to like screw with Rick and get him to understand that he's under the Savior's control. He takes him in the RV and he kind of messes it. I'm not going to spoil it in case anyone hasn't watched it. But basically, Negan tries to mess with Rick and sort of get him to understand we're in control now. You got to give us half your shit, and you know. And Rick at first didn't understand that even after he killed 2 of his guys, and so I'm gonna spoil this because this is great, but Negan tells Rick to cut Carl's arm off or he's gonna kill everyone, and it's just a really great scene. And Negan wanted Rick to have that look of like just total defeat on his face. And he got that after he told him to do that. He didn't get that after he killed 2 of his men even before. But when he did that, he totally broke Rick. Did
Rick cut off Carl's arm?
Oh. He didn't end up.
See, that's what I don't like. The Walking Dead will have the balls. That's the thing that's frustrating with Walking Dead, where I would be screaming at the television screen, where it will have the creative insight to bring up something like that, where I don't know if I could come with that idea, but that's a great fucking idea. Like, has weird mirrors to the fucking Bible with God making Noah sacrifice Isaac, I think, or no, Jacob Isaac, right? So it's like that's a great moment where Negan is being God, sacrifice your only son for the good of the earth. And that's a great fucking moment, but it doesn't have the balls to execute it. Like, that's the thing, because all the fucking network cunts are going, no, you can't do that. That's too brutal. And so it's like, we're already killing one person episode, but like, why is the Red Wedding so famous in Game of Thrones? Because they didn't just go, oh, we killed one character they love. No, they like, no spoilers, but they killed a bunch of fucking people. Like, people that you've been with for 3 seasons thought were vital to the show are just gone forever. And you're just like, holy shit. Like, it changes the whole game. It's why Walking Dead Season 2 finale was so great. Shane dies. Dale dies. The whole farm falls apart. They move. And it never recovered after Season 2 because that's when they got into the gritty fucking supermodels with dirt, like, emo, grungy, look at stab zombies through the fucking chain link fence. And it never really recovered. But, like, that was so great because everything had changed. Like, there is this interesting theory for stories where, like, once you have that best moment, the show or movie is never as good, where when the whole world changes, you can't just have the world keep completely changing. But what you can do is have characters. So, like, it was good that they went back to Morgan. One of my favorite moments in the comics was going back to Morgan. But even though they shot the bed the first time going back to him, in my opinion. But yeah, like, when he said, this is no longer a democracy, this is a, Ricktatorship became the pun, which I fucking love, but this is a dictatorship. That was one of the best fucking monologues of the whole show, and that was one of the best beats. Like, it changed the fucking playing field. And the thing is, for The Walking Dead, after Season 2, it was 5 seasons of the same playing field. Nothing really changed. They didn't do anything really new. That was the problem. It was stuck. It wasn't in motion. It wasn't growing. It wasn't, and by nature it was decaying. Like, I wouldn't even say decaying. It was just giving what people want each episode, just influx. Hey, these 2 characters it was like a sitcom almost. Hey, these 2 characters bond this episode, and that's not why people watch The Walking Dead. But I'll stop cunting about The Walking Dead. let them rest on their laurels. They did a great job fucking cashing in. Like, God knows, anytime they finally kill a character, it has to be after they cock tease about it and fuck it up once, where Glenn had his should have died the other fucking episode. Like, same with the fucking governor. I fucking hate that shit. But at least they did it finally right after cock teasing and fucking up before, giving the audience blue balls.
I do hope that they cut off Rick's arm like they do in the comics, but I will defend them not cutting off Carl's arm because you just saw 2 people get their heads bashed in. So I don't know.
No, but imagine if they did, how much the show would change if it was like this show. Because how did the show get more brutal? Then you show how brutal he meant. Where he doesn't even want to eat your arm. No, he's just gonna break your ass down. He's gonna play God.
Carl already has
the eye thing.
His eye
I
gone,
gotcha.
so you know.
Still.
I feel like you can't.
Why not? Why not?
You can't cut off his
Why
arm
not?
and his eye.
I think that'd be fucking great. That would be. This is the future. This is the world that comes with the. You want the zombie world so bad? Here's what happens. Like that to me. That's how you gotta have the balls to kill your darlings, to make your audience uncomfortable, to make your audience even get upset. That was too mean.
No, I agree, but I think they should do it to Rick. Like,
just because he's an adult, like, yeah, I think they should. But I think Carl, the fact that they brought it, like, that's one time what's frustrating is they have the creative talent to see the option, but The Walking Dead is so micromanaged by the fucking network because that's all they really have. That besides Better Call Saul, that you know they can't make creatively fulfilling, profound decisions. But I'm glad they did. You know. I'll give them. It's not even cup half full. They're a cup 2/3 full. I'll give them that for that episode. So yeah, that would be a funny rating system. How full is the cup? But that's
like a quarter, exactly, a half full, 3/4. You know, that's a good idea. I like that. I guess if we ever did, that, you want to do it now? Yeah. All right. So I guess if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna give it 3/4 full. Good episode. So
cool. Okay. That's fair. All right, what do we want to talk about next? That was a good. We got philosophical with it. Like, that's what I like more. Other shows is going to be fucking. Well, here's what I think about that. And next issue, like, I like us getting philosophical, debating, and like, and I admit I'm half time around my asshole. Like, I saw most of the season 5 with Terminus. You know, I could tell they were just introducing characters that nobody would give a shit about, so that they would have people to kill to pretend that they were actually doing something creatively fulfilling. It seemed like they might have been.
Well, Terminus was only like 3 episodes.
Terminus was done bad, but I just mean the characters they were introducing before that on the road. Like, there's a lot of on the road to Terminus, you know. But after the jail fell apart, but yeah, I mean, the preacher character seemed interesting because I remember him in the comics, and I was curious if they were going to do the same thing.
Oh, Gabriel,
exactly. Gabriel, yeah. But yeah, let's go to the next thing.
Yeah, I just have one more TV thing. And I don't really have a lot to say, but it's The Flash, episode 4, season 3. So in this episode, they introduced a couple of new rogues, Mirror Master and Top, I think, or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's fine. I don't know, like it's Mirror Master was cool visually. You could see him hopping through mirrors and whatnot. And they had Captain Cold in it a little bit, Wentworth Miller, you know, from Prison Break. He was on the other DC show, Legends of Tomorrow, but it's confusing as shit. But, it really is. But the episode.
DC doesn't have the cohesiveness. That's the biggest problem. They just don't. No, they don't have the Paul Feige type who's in charge of it all. They're not. You know. You need. Kevin. I'm combining the Bridesmaids guy. Who's he? And Paul. Like he's the vagina comedy guy. But
okay, so the episode was good, but okay. I'll start with my positives. It had Harrison Wells. So the great thing about his character is that in season 1, he played an evil version of himself who's playing someone else. It's really confusing. I'll try to explain it. So he played Harrison Wells, who was secretly Eobard Thawne. And then in season 2, he played Earth 2 Harrison Wells, like from another Earth. And now, in this season, he's playing like Earth 19 Harrison Wells. Like he's playing the same. It's the same actor playing like 3 different characters, which is I think it's cool.
That's interesting. No, that's interesting.
Like,
I'm curious. Have they done?
But like three different personalities.
Have they done Gorilla? I want to say Gorilla Grodd.
Grodd.
Yeah. Have they done him?
Visually, he looks really amazing for a TV budget.
They did
really
him.
Good.
When did they do him?
They did him a couple times in season 1 and a couple times in season 2, and he'll be back in season 3 for Gorilla City.
So they pull that sounds
City
awesome.
arc.
So like, because he's a tough one to pull off. Like I've read good stories, but it's few and far between. But like it's that how do you distinguish yourself from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? But
Yeah. The thing about the show is I want to see it kind of change up a little bit because it's so annoying. Every episode, Barry has a villain to go against, and then he mopes around. He's like, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm not fast enough." And then someone like says, "Oh no, Barry,
I'm not fast
Barry,
enough.
You can do it.
Barry, you're fast.
You can do it.
You're a fast guy, Barry.
You can do it." And then he ends up defeating the villain.
Are they trying to do a Kid Flash thing, like they were preparing like Red Arrow and Arrow?
They did him in the premiere, but then they changed the timeline, and now he's not. I don't know. The show.
Yeah, I can't follow that. Gotcha, but
the show has done a lot of speedsters. Like you got the Flash, you got Earth 3, Flash, who's Barry's father's doppelganger, who's a speedster, and then you got Kid Flash. They did him, and then you got Jessie Quick. They're doing her right now. And then obviously Reverse Flash, Zoom, The Rival, and it's just, I like the show because it's just cheesiness, but
it's so
I want to
cheesy.
see it change. It's just the same every week.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're in the flux. Yeah. Like exactly, the Flash has even more cheesiness than Walking Dead, so it's starting to reach your cheesy mistake threshold. But yeah, like, and also they don't have flashbacks and stuff to go to like Arrow had, where for a while you didn't give a shit. Like it was almost reverse Lost, where you didn't give a shit about what happened in regular world. You want to see island stuff. Lost, you wanted to see the real world stuff, and you didn't give a shit about the island stuff. But
yeah, like again, the show. It's just I enjoy it, but it needs a new flavor in the show. It's just become very repetitive. So, yeah, I think that's all we got for this
I think
week.
I have one other story that I'm actually interested in.
Okay.
J.J. Abrams says
Really?
God Particle is the next film in the Cloverfield series. God Particle is the name of it. But yeah, they want to release a Cloverfield film each year, and that sounds very interesting. Like I that's all it says for the story, but I don't know what it's going to be about. But I wonder if it'll still have the same chick, if it's going to be following her, or if it's going to be following other stuff. But I'm curious. I wonder where they go.
Really? That's what right?
Yeah. Like,
I wonder where they're going with that.
It's hard to comment.
That's funny. So you said it's called God Particle?
Yeah, the God Particle.
Okay. That's funny because I think I heard about that a couple months ago, but I didn't know if it was a Cloverfield because for 10 Cloverfield Lane, they called it something else, but then they surprised everyone by telling them it was a Cloverfield.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like first draft. It was just a regular, like post-apocalypse movie, and then they connected it.
They tied it into Cloverfield.
Exactly. They basically once she gets out of it, the alien stuff. But
right at the end.
Like, I mean, bottom line, 10 Cloverfield Lane was fucking awesome. Like that was one of the best movies I've ever watched in an airplane. Let me tell you. But
you watched like 10 movies.
Bro, I watched so many. I caught up on fucking the past 2 years of cinema on that plane. Those 12-hour rides, man, Hawaii. But you gotta catch up on we need our college scrapbook memories, Trent. We don't have any pictures. How am I gonna remember you? But yeah, it was.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, it's like shit. We haven't done anything as a family for a decade. Let's do some vacations, so I don't feel like I missed out on my son's childhood.
So you didn't really like, growing up, you didn't really do much with them?
We did, but just my dad's cheap, so it'd be like, go to we'd go to a different beach place. Like, it's like, I never said they always want to go to a beach place. Like, we live like 10-minute fucking walk from the beach. Why the fuck do we want to go to beach place? Like, let's go to the north. Let's go to, Michigan or, those kind of things. It's like, I want to see what I'm not around. Like, I have a theory that I think everybody wants to, like, live in the opposite climate of what they grew up in, not just weather-wise, but also culture-wise. Like, East Coast people like to stay East Coast, but I think West Coast wants to go East Coast. Like, it's just so fake on West Coast, that bullshit. But, like, you want to be different than your parents, like, and it's sad because most people become their parents, but all that shit, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah. I do. I feel that sometimes I wish I was at college right now, talking to people, actually doing stuff. But yeah, I feel you.
Definitely, but
yeah.
I wish I was in your shoes where I could rub my nuts and watch 10 movies a day.
To be honest, I just want to mix with that.
Right? Exactly. Like, how do you balance it? Being a guy who likes watching movies alone with having friends and not being a lonely fuck.
It's hard. It's hard. If I'm being totally honest, I just hate people. But I love the people. I love my friends. I love the people.
Exactly. It's so hard to find non-cunts. They're just... The world is plagued with cunts. We have a cunt plague. And we need another fucking black plague to kill all the cunts and also just make our fucking world sustainability. Like, I'm a Bill Burr. If you want fucking sustainability, shut down the hospitals. Just shut them down. Like, my first script was about that. It's like, probably my favorite line is like, it was kind of like Meet Joe Black, so death comes down, death incarnate, and he's like, has a big, like, philosophical conversation with a kid at the end, Johnny Triard, and he's like, death wants to die. It's ironic, isn't it? Where it's basically he's bitching about how, we have cures for everything, and, how can death ever, death's one way to survive is either he kills everybody, and he can finally die/retire, or nobody dies anymore. And, he has his brother life shit-talking him all the time, and I don't know. I can't remember what I had as, like, the top of it, Destiny or something. It was kind of like, even though I hadn't read Neil Gaiman's Sandman yet, but I had read American God, so it kind of connects with that, but very similar to that. But yeah, so that was my sort of, like, if these abstract concepts could be physical things, but and have a personality. But, yeah.
Totally,
Trying to think we have any other stories. Like, I think this is a good one. Hopefully we can actually upload this fucking one. And
I will.
Be fucking better.
And that's all we got. I'm gonna plug my Twitter. So
plug all that social media bullshit.
Talk with me. Yeah, I have been questioning a lot of social media stuff lately, but I still come back to it's good enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on all the social media stuff. Ralph Lenardic. You can find Trent.
Nowhere.
In his room, in his dorm room, eating a frozen pizza.
Yeah, show up at UF, and I'll throw you a couple pizza rolls out my window if I'm smoking a cigarette at the time.
Oh god, I want those so bad right now. I'm so hungry.
Bro, I need to send you the picture of my freezer. It's hilarious. It's stocked to the fucking brim. Like, it's like I have to push to get it to get that like fucking hydraulic seal, so it doesn't all get mold or something. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's just stocked.
Right. You got like 20
Bro, I have like
in there?
4 of the 15 count boxes of pizza rolls. Then I have like 4 of the cheesy crust DiGiorno, but like 6-inch, like little, almost like those, like I don't know if you went to baseball games and football games with your dad. Back when it was the Dolphins and Marlins Stadium, so same stadium, they would have in the like, not Papa John's, in the Subway, they'd have that little, I think it was either Pizza Hut or Papa John's, but this little personal pizza, like, not even enough for a full meal for one person. It's not. I fucking love those. Way overpriced, but like that's basically what I have. I have 4 of those in my freezer with cheesy crust, and then I have the little Stofers where they look like little, I don't know, battleships. They kind of look like a fucking what do you call it? The gay people baguette, the French baguette of bread. If you just sliced it down the center, carved out some of the bread, and just threw some pizza sauce and cheese and pepperoni, like it's a bagel bite, as a baguette bagel bite, I guess, but yeah, biscuit bagel bite, but bagel bites are biscuits, and then those are baguettes, but yeah, so those, and to the fucking brim.
I feel you, but yeah, I think that's it for this week. So,
see you next week. We'll do one thing maybe. I don't know. I feel like we'll be like those cunty shows that just go and say that obvious thing that people can come up with themselves. But with the Toy Story 4 switching release dates with The Incredibles 2, you had an interesting point on that where I wasn't up to date, so inform me on that and talk to me like I'm a child, because I didn't read the story, I just knew it swapped.
Yeah, well, all I know is The Incredibles 2 got pushed forward a year, and then Toy Story replaced The Incredibles release date. So I think Incredibles 2 is 2018 now, and then Toy Story 4 is 2019.
So that must mean they already have stuff written for Toy Story 4.
I guess Brad Bird is ready to like start making it.
So Brad Bird's doing The Incredibles too. Yeah, that's great. He's coming back. Yeah. That's great. I'm excited. Yeah. He hasn't done an animated movie since Ratatouille, and he saved Ratatouille. Like, I don't know if you know the story about. We talked about that on the first one. That one day they'll hear in the archives if they pay us $1 million, like the Wu-Tang Clan album that they sold to that Shkreli fuck. But Yeah, fucko. All right, but
That
he
guy's
is. Like, everybody tries to defend him. Like even when he is like not a dick on things, he's trying to be perceived as not a dick. Like, exactly.
He wants to be one,
he wants to be liked. Yeah. It's like, you're a cunt. Don't pretend you're not a cunt. Own your cuntiness if you're gonna be a cunt. Don't be this cunt in denial. But CID. That should be a syndrome. Basically, whatever Trump has. But yeah, did we plug everything? Social media, blah blah blah. Ralph's on Twitter. Ralph, you can also read. Did you mention the? I don't want to mess it up. I always do Cinesportstalk.com. I did it right. Look at that! Look at that! I'm a big boy. But
yeah, I write for them. It's pretty fun because it's just kind of a place to, like, express some of my thoughts, and it's a really good website. Like, it has really.
And you don't have a cunt like me cutting you off every 2 minutes with his stupid fucking uninformed opinions. And I encourage you to read it because I respect yours. It's good to see Ralph grow. It's like getting to see Christopher Nolan's like following, or Wes Anderson's Bottle Rocket, like seeing them grow from beginning to end. Where I've just seen reading them how Ralph grows each fucking new review, where he's getting like his own voice and shit. So if you want to be one of those guys who can say, I was there at the beginning for Ralph Lenardic, I was in there at the ground fucking floor. This is the time to hop on, bitch. All 100 fucking viewers of you, you got a cute white boy whose reviews you can read. So fucking get on it.
100, I would love that.
Yeah, if we got 100.
If we get 100, I'm like.
What we have on the last one, I have no idea. I guess we'll see. But yeah, adios, guys. Thanks for listening. Give you shit because it's free, but fuck you, it's free. So, but
yeah, we'll
see you next time.